Impact Wrestling has been making waves as of late. They have this great hybrid system where they have the pay-per-views. They also do the specials in Impact Plus. And one of those Impact Plus specials comes up this Saturday, Sacrifice. This Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Impact Plus. Several title matches on tap for Sacrifice. One of them involves my guest joining me now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline. He is a former X Division champion. He hopes to be the future X Division champion. Ace Austin. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at _Ace_Austin. Ace, how you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. We're looking at being a two-time, count it, two-time X Division champion this Saturday.
Hey.
And probably the youngest to ever achieve that feat, as I have many of the things I've done so far in my career, the youngest man to do so.
Yes, you are, and you just celebrated a birthday not too long ago. How was the birthday celebration?
Oh, it was fantastic. That was about a week ago, February 28th. Turned 24. We've got until August to still be the youngest world champion in Impact history, and I had a fantastic birthday. Traveling on the road, doing the thing, wrestling on some independent shows. What I love to do.
Absolutely, and I've seen you on the independent scene. I've seen you with Impact. Always impressive every time I see you in the ring, outside the ring. I want to ask you, because this week marks the 2-year anniversary since you debuted on television for Impact Wrestling. You defeated Jake Atlas. You look back from this week in 2019 till now. You look at what you have accomplished in Impact Wrestling. Talk about a couple of the big highlights of your run in Impact Wrestling so far.
Oh, the highlight reel. You want the highlight reel. Thank goodness for social media, because I have been living, ever since I debuted in a professional wrestling ring in 2015, I have been living life in the fast lane for real, like definition of the word. And it almost feels like I'm in a time warp sometimes, like things are just like happening, and I'm so focused on whatever I've got coming up next week. It's like constantly just like something important coming up. So I'm always like geared and focused towards that next goal. I never take a lot of time for, a lot of self-reflection. Thank goodness for social media reminding me of the 2-year Impact debut, because I didn't even realize we had come around to this, especially with all the quarantine stuff happening. That really like kind of set time on a different, we're in a different timeline. Everything's so weird. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable that it's only been 2 years. My first 8 months inside of Impact Wrestling were, crazy on their own. I debuted, like we said, this week. Things kind of took off for me. I found myself on something of a win streak. I went into a little program with Petey Williams, like off the rip, and we had some incredible matches, and I defeated him every time and remained undefeated. And then everything was going great. 4 months into my career, TJP shows up. Impact re-signs TJP. He comes out as like a surprise opponent. So naturally, they just expected me to be prepared for a match like that, but I wasn't, admittedly. And TJP beat me very fast, very quickly. A little embarrassing, I must say. But then we went into a little rematch action, and he still got the better of me. I wasn't ready for TJP back then. I thought that things were going to go downhill for me after that. I thought that was, my ticket to the bottom of the totem pole. But I was wrong, because 4 months after that, I found myself in the X Division title ladder match at Bound for Glory in Chicago. And, we all know what happened. I came out on top. I became X Division champion, and that was a launching point, to say the least. I went on to do some minor film projects. I went on to have a history-making reign as X Division champion, not only in length, but also in quality. Nobody did the things that I did as X Division champ. I mean, I came in so hot. I ended up in the main event. I stepped up to the world champion at the time. We had a historic match at Sacrifice last year. Champion versus champion, no titles on the line. So Sacrifice this year is really a full circle culmination of my career with Impact Wrestling so far. Because not only, like I said, did I main event Sacrifice last year as X Division champion in a very prominent top spot, but now I'm going into the match this Saturday for the X Division championship. This is involved in the mix again. And then against TJP, who is like the only obstacle that I haven't overcome in Impact Wrestling. So that's why this match is very important on Saturday. But to continue the highlight reel, of course, after that first X Division title win, I held it for around 6 months or so. Willie Mack defeated me for the X Division title at Rebellion. And then I ended up in the world title picture immediately. Found myself in the main event at Slammiversary, the highest rated pay-per-view in Impact Wrestling history.
Mm-hmm.
I main evented. Final two, me and Eddie, my arch nemesis. Unfortunately, I didn't walk out on top, but out of that match, the inevitable was born. I call myself the inevitable Ace Austin because I know that it's only a matter of time for me before I achieve whatever it is that I set my mind to. There's nothing that stands between me and my goals. And that's what inevitable means. It means it's something you cannot prevent from happening, and nobody will stop my rise to the top.
I was going to say, people call it cocky, but it's not cocky if you back it up, right?
Absolutely. You can call it cocky, but it's confidence, and it's what you need to succeed as a top spot professional wrestler like me. That's going from the world title picture, me and Fulton ended up in the tag title picture with the very best in the world, and we hung with them despite our lack of experience against all of these other very experienced tag teams. We held our own, and we went into Bound for Glory for the tag titles. We didn't exactly win, but like I said, we proved something. And then after that, here we are. We've come around full circle back into the X Division title picture where it all began for me. And like I said, it's full circle now. I'm going to overcome this obstacle that is TJP, the thing that haunts me from the beginning of my Impact career. I'm going to defeat him. I'm going to reclaim the X Division championship. And then the only possibilities that are in front of me.
Hey, that's right.
Have option C at my disposal. I could still potentially become the youngest world champion in Impact Wrestling history. But as X Division champion, I will once again make the X Division a prominent thing on Impact Wrestling.
Love the confidence. You gotta love the confidence. And we're going to talk about that TJP match here coming up in just a second. Something I found out about you is that you're an avid skateboarder. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I used to be. I don't get to do it as much anymore, but
okay.
I was.
I was going to ask, was there ever a temptation to take that route as far as a professional career?
No. I've always wanted to be a professional wrestler. That's always been the goal. Everything else I've done in my life, I've done with a temporary mindset. I knew that it would have to come to an end eventually because I was going to be a pro wrestler.
Right.
But I did have some intentions of getting sponsored as a skateboarder because I knew that, that was still a possibility while I was chasing the professional wrestling route. So I did have a group of friends and we would film stuff and we would try to send in and get sponsorships. And we had a relationship with a lot of local skate shops and stuff like that. But nothing really super crazy. Nothing ever really took off too much. It was just a really, really good, meaningful, special time in my life. It was exactly what I needed at that time in my life. When I was young, I didn't want to spend too much time at home. I just wanted to be out experiencing things. So skateboarding, gave me that. I got to just ride around with my friends and really just get into some stuff.
Right. Right. I have all the admiration in the world for skateboarders. I was lucky enough to cover the X Games when they were here in Austin several years ago. Got to see the likes of Nigel Houston and Bob Burnquist and all the great skaters. And got to know Bob Burnquist quite a bit, but all the different skaters that were there was so amazing. So let's talk about Saturday. You're facing TJP, who is the current X Division champion. The X Division has always been that signature thing that is almost exclusive to Impact Wrestling and TNA before that. Talk about how special it is for you to be you've been a champion in the X Division. You could become the champion again. Talk about adding your stamp to that lineage that has really made Impact Wrestling what it is.
I feel as though I'm almost competing with myself here. That's what I feel like. I feel like going into this match, coming out the other side as X Division champion, the only person I have to compete with is going to be myself, because my first reign as champion was so good that this one has to be even better. And I have no doubt that it will be, because I'm fully confident in my capabilities, of course. But when you think about, the original X Division, one of the first names that comes to everybody's mind is AJ Styles. And they compare me to AJ Styles all the time. And there's a reason for that. I could take that, offensively, but I could take that, in a good way, of course. But the way I see it is that they compare me to the best because I am the best. I'm among the top in this industry. And one day they're going to compare people to me and my X Division title reign. So, yeah. So my name is going to be etched in there with the greats. There's no doubt about it.
That's not a bad list to be on. It really isn't. You mentioned AJ Styles. You talk about, the likes of Chris Sabin and Christopher Daniels and some of the great champions that they've had with that title around their waist. TJP seems to be there's kind of a similarity with you and TJP. So what is your strategy going to be to defeat TJP and get that X Division championship?
When TJP came back into this company, like I said, he showed up. I wasn't prepared for it, and what happened happened. Things are way, 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 way different now. This is I truly believe that I am the face of Impact Wrestling, and this is my place now, not TJP's. So things are very different now. I'm not just somebody coming in with something to prove. I've proven what I set out to prove, and now it's just a matter of going into this match with the kind of do or die mindset that I put myself into for these big moments. I was gonna walk out of that ladder match at Bound for Glory in 2019. I was gonna walk out of that match X Division champion, or I was gonna die trying. And that's where we're at again. We're back here at Sacrifice. X Division titles on the line. It's do or die.
You make the sacrifice. Simple as that. It's Impact Wrestling Sacrifice this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You've got the X Division Championship on the line. You also got the World Championship. Several different title matches. Looking forward to watching TJP as he tries to fight off Ace Austin, the inevitable. And again, Ace, thanks so much for joining us. All the best to you. All the best luck on Saturday night. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and Instagram at _Ace_Austin. Ace, be well, be safe. We'll talk again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate, it was just great.